What's going on, everyone? So, regardless of how you felt about Scream 3, and regardless of how you felt about Roman as a character, you have to admit his tech was off the chain. I mean, this little ghost changing box, the voice manipulator, was incredible and way ahead of its time. I mean, the fact that he could manipulate anyone's voice to lure the others to their death was incredible. I mean, he had Sydney, he had Dewey, he had Gail. I mean, Gail flat out said, like, Dewey, he has our voices. And that was such a cool moment to be like, wow. Like, he was a ghost face ahead of his time when it came to his tech, regardless of how you felt about him. But this ghost box right here, this little voice changer, has been the plague of me ever since. But before we get started, be sure to like this video. It helps me out a lot. It lets me know that you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. And subscribe to the channel, followed by the bell notification so you never miss an upload. So, the reason this has been a plague and a vein of my existence ever since is because it wasn't in Scream 4, and it drives me crazy why it wasn't. I mean, it was such a great piece of tech, and what, he created it himself? I mean, possibly, but you would think that it came from somewhere. Maybe it was a movie prop because he was on the set and maybe got somebody to make it for him. I don't know, but even the Jill and Charlie ghost faces, they seem pretty tech savvy. They seem pretty like ahead of their time as far as like tech and documentary filming and all that stuff. A huge argument that people have was that Scream 4 was just 4 or 5 years too early. That if it came out in 2014, 15, or 16, then it would have been a completely different movie and may have gotten more success than it did. So why didn't they incorporate this? And okay, I get it. It's fine. They didn't. This better be in Scream 5. I mean, this would be a perfect way. Let's say Dewey's death is a thing. Let's say that he does get bait and switched and he's manipulated to go somewhere. This explains it. This little voice changer here solves all of those questions of how did he get manipulated like that? And it would just be such a cool thing to bring back because it was such a fascinating piece of equipment and such a utility for Ghostface. I mean, to be able to use anyone's voice at any time. I mean, he could lure Dewey by using Gail's voice in a panic or whatever. Draw Sydney out by pretending to be Dewey in a panic, whatever. It was just such a cool way to catch somebody off guard, have them enter a place with their guard down, to be able to attack them as Ghostface. It's just too perfect for them not to include in the upcoming Scream 5. And if they don't have that, I'm going to be upset. Like, they can do whatever they want in this film. I'm going to give it a chance. But they have to have this, okay? Because this was the coolest thing about Scream 3. Like, again, regardless of how you felt about it, like, this piece of tech here was remarkable. And I just think that they could really utilize it in Scream 5. And, you'd have fans that would see it and be like, oh, that's really cool, because they maybe not put two and two together, or they just are seeing this for the first time. So they're like, oh, that is a cool, voice changing box. But for us fans that have like studied these films in and out and will notice that reference and realize that it exists, that will be so cool from just an audience perspective, but also, again, such a utility for Ghostface to just be able to sort of blend in a lot of ways. It's also a way to, like, if this is a very similar sort of mirrored version of Scream, and they have, say, like a Billy type character that gets locked up as the potential Ghostface, this voice change box would be a perfect way to like manipulate that situation. It would be a good way to manipulate everything. Manipulate the police. You can manipulate Dewey and Judy. If Judy's not the killer, she could be the one that is using the box. But if it's not her, it's a great way for whoever Ghostface is to manipulate everyone involved. I just think it's too perfect of a piece of equipment, and just it's something that already exists in the universe that you don't need to explain. You don't need to do anything fancy. You can just implement it in this film, and it just adds another layer to Ghostface. It adds more mystery, more, because now you don't know. I mean, he can manipulate any of the characters in this film. So you hear, say, Jenna Ortega's voice, and you're like, is she the killer, or is it, or is it this box, whatever. I mean, obviously I wouldn't want to know till later, don't, like, from the jump see Ghostface holding the box, like, saying whatever he's saying. Like, no, like, have that be part of the reveal, like, hello city, just like Stu did with the box. Like, do the same thing, same type of reveal, but with this voice changing box that can just manipulate anybody. It would really explain and just kind of throw everybody off, because now you're just like, well, whose voices were real, who's whatever, It just, again, adds another layer. It adds a little bit more excitement, makes it a little more fun. It's just cool, savvy tech. I would love to see other tech ideas implemented. They've said that Ghostface is going to move off the knife, and he's going to have special kills, and he's going to do things a little different. He's going to be more stealthier. And this, we're in 2021. The film comes out in 2022, but in their time of the film and everything, it was probably 2019, 2020. All the tech that we have readily available, even in our phones, is, I would love to see implemented in this Scream. And I do kind of fall under that group of people that are like, Scream 2011 was just 4 or 5 years too early, which I do think. I think, like, if Scream 4 came out for this Scream 5, I think it would be more accepted, because everybody's doing what they were doing in that film. Like, all of the documentary style, all of the showings, all of this, all of that. It would have been a really cool way to transition into this film. But here we are, Scream 5. I want to see some advancements. I don't want to see the, a Ghostface that is just usual black and white. No pun intended. But I want to see one that's, stealthier, deadlier, more smarter, suave, implements technology like this ghost changing or voice changing box, and really add some excitement to this film. But as always, this is a discussion, and I want to hear from you. So let me know down in the comments, how did you feel about this voice changing box? Did you enjoy it? Were you excited when you found out that thing was a thing? Are you upset that they haven't implemented that since? Do you want them to implement that in Scream 5? All of those questions, please answer down in the comments below. If you haven't hit that like button, please hit that like button. It helps me out a lot. It sends my videos to the ether that is YouTube, and I truly appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe to the channel, followed by the bell notification so you never miss an upload. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.